Okay, so now let's look at something that waveform is really good at when it's paired up with groove, is that we can make the selection in waveform be our loop points. We're going to take the selection start and the selection end, and we can connect patch cords directly to this number, but let's make things a little bit cleaner and create a send machine loop start object over here. You can copy it, connect the end, and change start to end. Then I can copy both these things and change them to receives. And this is kind of a favorite technique to make sure I haven't got a typo if I do a lot of sends and receives. And now, if I'm playing, I can make a selection. I'm going to type in, because I've been doing some things here, so let's play the whole thing. I can hold down the shift key to extend one side. Go through. If I load a new file, made a mistake there. If I go to a new file, keeps the selection. Okay, so I can make a new. And I can move things around. If I keep along the x-axis, the loop stays the same length. If I drag down, it gets smaller. Goes out, gets longer. So back into this. So now, even though I'm only showing the left channel of the audio, it's playing both because the buffer is stereo and the groove object is stereo. But I'm making my selections based on everything I can see in the left. Now the next thing to do would be to make this a stereo buffer. So I'm going to show that. And easiest thing to do again is unlock the patch and go back to my help. Go into the multi-channel display, because again, it's all set up to do what you need it to do. So I'm going to get these parts. Copy them. Come back over and paste it. I'm going to get rid of the mono that I have. Bring this over and back up. So I have some of the same features. Need to set my display length to both of them now. And hide both of these patch cords. I need to set each buffer, each channel of the buffer to one of the waveforms. So I have a set machine 1. I can make a set machine 2. And 1's going to go here. 2's going to go here. Let's hide both of those. And let's set up a load bang so it'll do this for me. And I'm going to just clean up the patch cords. The load bang will let me double click here, and that's going to load both channels. So the things for the most part have been the same. If I load one of my electronica samples, you're going to see a little bit of difference in the files. You notice in here there's some difference. So let's stop for a second and take a look at what the stereo waveform is doing. It is same stuff, display length, start, and display start. It's showing you that here is some of the same stuff, and actually I hooked up into the wrong place. Let's take this cord, instead of going right in, let's go into this number, and let's go into this number, if I can get it ever, with the patch cords. So that's why it didn't update appropriately. What's happening is the output of the top one is connected to the bottom through the link. And the one thing we're missing that we had before was this select all. And we'll put that here. What happens is this comes out, and whatever's going on selection-wise in here, it gets transmitted to this one through the link. And then whatever is being selected here gets transmitted up to the top one through the link output. So you can't select across them, but you can select one and it shows up in the other. And it's either one. So depending on where you want to focus. Then the final thing to make this work again like we want it to is to, so my start and end can go into these. And I'll get selection points again. Right, go back and select all. Get some of the panning back and forth. And stop. So now I've got a stereo waveform editor. The one thing that I don't have is control. I can't see where I am in the playback. If you notice, if you're watching, take a longer approach. It's not like playlist in that this doesn't gray out or highlight as it's playing through the file. It's nothing that shows you what to do, where you are. So that's the next step. I'm going to stop here and then start another video. We'll look at how to get some visual indication of where you are in playback, and that'll be the next thing. So.